Of the weekly download. I'm Mitchell Dumlao, and right now I'm feeling happy and I'm grateful just because I've had some amazing shoots lately. And one shoot I did had some really cool talent and a great crew, great locations around Austin. And with that production, I wanted to talk about what went right, what went wrong, and a lot of things that will go right and go wrong for you in future productions. It really is all about making sure you know how to problem solve, have good communication, and stay organized. And today we're just going to talk about video production in general and how to plan a shoot accordingly and effectively. And for me, what I've learned after all these years, 15 plus years of video production, I've learned that it's really just making sure that the cast, the crew, the talent, which is the cast, so the talent, crew, equipment, and locations are all locked down before the shoot. And of course, you have products and other things as well if you are building out a set and you need costumes and you need wardrobe. But honestly, it's all about the talent, the crew, the equipment, and the locations. And what I've learned is that you really need to have a lot of communication between all the parties and make sure that you, the producer, also has access to these people and also that you have help the day of. And so I'm going to talk to you about this as a director and a producer. So someone that's going to be on set, I will be directing the talent at the same time I would be producing in a little bit. I produce, although I rather would have someone else produce. I have a producer. And the great thing about having a producer is that it takes the workload off of you if you want to be creative. Now, let's say you are a producer and you want to rather be a producer than be creative and rather do all the production side or the coordination and the management and the legal, then it's okay. Then you hire a director or you hire a videographer or someone who doubles up as a camera op and a director as well. And so I learned a lot about communication beforehand, during, and afterwards is really important. And of course, you have emails and you have Slack. You also have group text. But I think that you should have one person really in charge of the whole group's communication. I want to say just like one person is the only one that contacts everyone, but someone who's in charge of it really brings it all together. And that's the producer. They'll have it on a call sheet. They have it on an Excel sheet. They have it on a Google sheet so that they know what everyone's role is. They know what everyone's contact information is. They have the list filled with their portfolio, their reel, whatever it is. Like you need someone to keep that all organized and together. Now, if you're doing this by yourself and you have a crew of 18 people, you really need to figure out how to organize everyone's contact information because communication is key. And so before the shoot with communication, you really need to let people know what the shoot is all about, of course, with the script and also what their roles are going to be. And so what I found is that, especially when you're working with crew, is that you have to really be specific with what their roles are, because you don't want to hire someone and the day of they show up and you tell them to do something completely opposite. Like it's pretty messed up if you do hire a PA and you have them come on set and they have to handle like gaffer work, or they have to do set design work where they thought they were just doing like normal PA gigs, right? So what you really want to do is just be very straight up beforehand, saying, hey, look, I'm hiring you for this gig as a camera operator. Your roles and responsibilities are shooting the shot list, operating the camera, working with the TP and the gaffer and the camera department to make sure that the shots look great. I also need you to bring your equipment. Right. Another thing too you got to know these days is because I know there's a fine line between hiring someone and then bringing their own equipment, and also hiring someone and also renting out the equipment, and that all comes down to what your video needs. Like if you need a high quality camera and you like a certain DP, some DPs don't have cameras. Some people they rent out the cameras. They work with that. Although sometimes DPs have their own cameras, and so that could be like a double. Like kind of like a 2-for-1 package where you can hire someone and also have their equipment. That goes with makeup, it goes with hair, sometimes it comes with wardrobes and stylists. They could just pull outfits. And so really knowing the crew needs to know all the expectations, what they need to bring and what they need to do on set, so that you can really prepare them for what happens on set, and they're not confused that, oh, they're supposed to, go to this next location and dress the set before the shot happens. Like you need to have everything laid out. And that's what a call sheet's all about. So if you know what a call sheet is, it's a document that you send out before the shoot that has, all the location information. It has people's contact information. It has the shoot schedule and all of that. And it's really important because the crew would have to know what the schedule is so they can prepare themselves. And so when it comes down to the crew and the equipment, another thing you got to know too as well is you got to make sure that everything is, just insured and taken care of. Because if you're going to have somebody bring their equipment on set, you're responsible if it gets broken. And same thing if it's from a rental house. So you should have insurance just in case somebody trips over a lens case, and all of a sudden your Leica lenses or your Cineprimes all fall on the floor and break, and that's tens of thousands of dollars on you. All right. And another thing you should also know too, especially with crew, is that you have to let them know about how to invoice you afterwards. So it's funny these days because I feel like it's been a mix of people asking for Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or straight cash or still a check or Bill.com or Gusto. It's this melange of like payment methods. Why this is important is that you don't want to be that person that's known to like not pay people after the shoot, but that sometimes you just don't know, how to pay people. And so what I do is I have my producers send out an email to all the crew members asking for a W-9, asking for their invoice, and letting them know that we're paying them through Bill.com, and if they need an alternative payment method to let us know. Okay, and then of course you have a sheet or a document that tracks everyone's payments so that you get everyone paid. All right. I've experienced this lately because someone didn't get paid on one of my shoots, and the producer let me know that, and I realized, oh my God, I thought we sent payment already. I guess it didn't go through. All right. So very important because you got to pay your team. All right. Next to that is also talent. Right. So when coordinating a shoot, you've got your crew and their equipment. Right. And then there's talent. You really need to know when they are available beforehand. And also you have to let them know their role. And so let's say it's for scripted. If I'm going to be working with a brand and they want to have models, or they want actresses or actors, then they need to see the script. And so there's a whole casting process, which I go over in a previous video. So when it comes to casting, you put up a casting post, or you talk to casting directors or agencies, and then you start, doing callbacks. When you have your callbacks, you have your auditions, and then you also have, your selects, and then you can start going through the, final approvals and final, cast. And from that cast, you really want to make sure that director, or like yourself or the director who's in charge, has access to the cast, so that you can go back and forth with any creative notes to get them prepared for the day of. And for cast, you also should be wary of what you need them to wear. If you need them to come with any certain haircut or shave their beard, keep their beard. And also you need to see if you need to have them bring their wardrobe, or you have to provide the wardrobe. So with cast, you also have to make sure that their schedule also aligns with the crew's schedule. So this is something that is like a special dance beforehand of like making sure that everyone is, has the same schedule and are available on the same day. All right. And then also for cast, you also want to make sure that when they arrive on set, they should be really comfortable, and also that you have a makeup artist, of course, to make sure that they're not sweating on camera and they look good for the camera, and that when they have the performances that they need to act for the actual video, that you keep a very comfortable and safe set. I have another video about this and how to direct actors, but really creating a comfortable set is very important for performances. And let's say it's not actors, like non-actors, you have to create a very comfortable, safe environment to get a really good performance. And so that means is that when you are setting up and coordinating a shoot, where are you going to film the actors or the talent so that you can get the best performance? You don't have like loud traffic noises or construction going, or you're at a busy place where people are looking in the camera and running by and too many distractions. You want to make sure that you're picking places that don't have that much traffic, you have a lot of control over, and you're able to create a safe environment. I'm going to give you a little anecdote just because I had a shoot last Friday, and we were filming in Texas, Austin, Texas, on Mount Bunnell. And Mount Bunnell was a very high elevated place, and I didn't expect for it to be 100 degrees that day, actually mid-90s. So we had to hike up these set of stairs and then film to get this really good view. But my talent, one of them, she actually got an asthma attack just because it was so hot and that the hike was so long that it was unexpected and she didn't know what to do, and so she had to go home, and so we had to switch the whole shoot around. She was the main actress and the main person, the main lead, and so it was a headache for a few moments, but then we were able to pivot and actually make it work. But why I'm telling you this story is that with talent and sets, you got to make sure that you're not setting them up for failure. Like, if I knew it was 100 degrees out and we're going to hike up a bunch of stairs and then we need to have a performance and shoot in the sun without shade for 3 hours, I wouldn't have set it at that time, and I wouldn't have asked the other actresses or other people to be out there in the sun. They could have waited in the cars, right? So that's something that I learned. So you have to really have a location scout. You also have to make sure that you know that your talent's going to be comfortable at that place, and you have all the necessary equipment and water or whatnot, so that people have the best performance and people aren't dying on set. Okay, that's just an anecdote for you when it comes to talent and locations. And that goes to locations. And with locations, of course, make sure you get permission, make sure you get permits if you need permits, make sure there's power outlets. You have to see if there's power there so that you can power up any batteries or anything that needs to have some sort of power outlet. So if you need electricity, you need a generator, get a generator. But you have to location scout in order for you to know if you have all the necessary tools or resources at the location for you to have a good shoot, right? Another thing you have to know too is about where you're going to have makeup, where you're going to have wardrobe, where you're going to have craft services, right? Or video village, where you're going to have like your DIT or the people who are going to download your footage in an exterior location. Will it be at the parking lot? Are you going to create a little village with a canopy and then setting up tables, right? So all of this you have to really think about when you're in an exterior location and you don't have a permit, or you have a permit but you don't have much experience at the location. You have to go location scout and make sure you have everything that you need in order for you to have a good shoot. Okay. Last thing is actually products. So before a shoot, of course, you need the crew to be all ready to go. You got to confirm the equipment, confirm the talent, confirm the locations. The other thing too is that if you're shooting product, you have to confirm that the product is going to be sent to you on time, and at the same time you have enough copies of that product, shirts, drinks or whatnot, so that when you have these takes with these actors, let's say they get sweaty or something breaks, that you have multiple copies of that product. Same time, get a lot of wipes so that the products are clean, because the client wants clean products. Also, test out your products before you go to the shoot. They have to be some sort of shot in a certain way so that they can be portrayed on camera correctly. I know this because last Friday I had a special bag or accessories, fashion accessories, that shined in the light, but it wasn't shining properly in sunlight. And I was testing it here at home and I thought it was looking good. But when the client came and saw it in the sunlight, they said, no, it's supposed to light up even more. And so I needed to even figure out how to make this shine a little bit more. And we had to use a reflector and put it in the sun a certain way. Luckily, we were able to get the shots we needed through a lot of lighting techniques. And so do test shots with the products beforehand. And also just confirm with the client how the products need to be filmed in order for them to be happy with the product if you're filming a branded content or some sort of product shoot. Okay, if it's like an interview, it's all about making sure that the client knows what the shot list is, what the script is, what the outline is, so that you are actually executing what they agreed upon. All right, so that's the best way to actually prep for a shoot. Again, make sure that the location, the talent, the crew and equipment and the product is all confirmed, and you've tested everything out. You've location scouted, you've talked to the talent, you've given them the script, you've done your casting, you've talked to the crew, you've given them their expectations and their roles, and you've confirmed the equipment and made sure that you have enough equipment to get the best video footage when you are on set. All right. So hopefully that was helpful and that you learned a little something today. Again, my name is Mitchel Dumlao, and this is the weekly download. I'm here every week. And if you have any questions, email me at mitchel@videcontentschool.com. Leave a comment below, like, share, and comment this. Actually, like, comment, and share this with anyone that you think will find this helpful. And I appreciate you watching and all your support.